Good to see you again, man.
Good to see you guys.
Again.
Good morning, everyone. I want to begin again by acknowledging the thousands of people who engage in nonviolent, peaceful protest throughout our city on Friday and yesterday, and who didn't allow themselves to be sidetracked by the devastation that we've seen. And it is devastating, absolutely devastating. Seeing the images and reading the reports of reckless destruction that played out across our city and really across our country is heartbreaking. Now, make no mistake, there is a lot of righteous anger and grief boiling here and across the country, and that isn't just about George Floyd, although that was the catalyst for this expression. It's also about Laquan McDonald and Quintonia LaGreer and others before and since. It's about so many members of our community who have lost unjustly over the generations. And it's about a system that demands change, and we must recommit ourselves in this moment to fundamentally changing the things that have plagued us for way too long, including our original sin of racism. So I stand shoulder to shoulder with those who have come out peacefully to express our righteous indignation, as we should and as is our right. And that's why I'm also hurt and angry at those who decided to try to hijack this moment and use it as an opportunity to wreak havoc, to loot, and to destroy. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What you have done is to dishonor yourself, your family, and our city, and its long and proud legacy as a leader of bold and vibrant, peaceful protest. And I urge you, and you know who you are, to think long and hard about what you can and should do to devote the passion and the energy that you showed last night in wreaking havoc in our city to doing something different with your life and your talents. To think about tomorrow for you, for your families, for your loved ones, and for your city. I know you can do better than what I saw last night, and I pray to God that you will find it in your heart to embrace something better for yourself in your lives. Those who decided to smash the doors of apartment buildings and people's homes and instill a level of insecurity, I just have to wonder, where were their parents? And what are we teaching them? We don't need to hand anyone a gift to point to us and say that's what they do. As I said yesterday, when you or anyone behaves in this way, we all lose. By giving the very same forces of racist oppression, we are fighting the false validation that they crave. This chaos and destruction is not the right tactic to bring change. How do we transform the systems of institutional racism that have stolen the lives of our loved ones over generations? Certainly not by setting businesses on fire and smashing windows. Not by setting people's cars on fire. Not by swinging hammers and shovels and throwing urine at the police. We saw 4 shootings in the Loop last night. From 7 to 11 p.m., 6 people were shot, 1 person killed. Is that how we bring social justice? How we seek change? No, it certainly is not. Any true and lasting change towards justice, towards the betterment of our country that has ever happened came from the hard work of organizing in our communities with love, not hate. The hard work of peaceful, nonviolent protests, as espoused by no less than Mahatma Gandhi and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, they spent their life and their blood striving to better all of us through peace and transparency, fervently, passionately, to be sure, but always with an eye towards peace. During this COVID crisis, we have seen people organizing in their communities, forming mutual aid groups, providing help and support to the unemployed, our elders, and so many more in need. Thousands, literally thousands of community volunteers, bringing strong communities in our hour of great need. That's the work that we must lift up and celebrate. That is how we change life for the better in our city, and that's the work that we must support and must continue. Through engaging our democracy, through voting and legislative process, through the legal system, and above all, through the hard work to build and grow and inspire our consciousness for change. Seeing the murder of George Floyd sickened me, and it still does. But rather than respond to his death as we should, and focus our energy towards doing the hard work to create the change that we need, we have instead been forced to turn our focus and energy towards preventing wanton violence and destruction. Violence and destruction that is disgusting and obscene, and that threatens public safety, public places, and people's basic freedoms. More than that, violence and destruction that tarnishes the legacy and the moral credibility of pain and justice that peaceful protesters sought to express. And folks, that not only breaks my heart, and it does, it leaves me angry and frustrated. And I know I'm not alone in sharing these feelings. We need to protect people's rights to life, liberty, property, and employment. It is for these reasons that today, the City of Chicago is taking new precautionary measures to further ensure the health and safety of our residents. In addition to our 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew that will remain in place until further notice, Governor Pritzker, at my request, has ordered a contingent of the National Guard to maintain a limited presence in support of our police department in order to ensure that we don't have a repeat of what we saw last night. This wasn't an easy decision. I did it at the request of and in consultation with Superintendent Brown, but it's surely the right decision in this moment. We are also reducing access to our Loop and Central Business District, and Director Guidance will provide more details. This area will only be accessible to residents and essential employees whose businesses are located within the boundaries we have set, to enable the cleanup and repair and restoration of their places of livelihood, the safety of their residences, and to remove hazards which were intentionally created last night, as the mountains of broken glass can attest. We have also suspended all CTA train and bus service coming in and out of the Loop. In light of these restrictions, our outreach teams are attempting to work closely with the organizers of rallies and protests scheduled to form alternative places for such marches to peacefully take place. I want to take this moment to give a special thanks to our many brave men and women